Welcome everyone to the Underground Sound. I am DJ X. With me, as always, is Carlos Fandango and the Maniac Monkey, Smart Monkey. Together, we are putting the us back into the music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear.
And don't forget to press the little tinkly bell on the YouTube screen that you'll see no doubt somewhere popping up, and you will then get all the notifications of whenever Tom uploads any new Underground Sound videos. Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting. That's absolutely right. Yeah. So bells all over the place. I've never seen them tinkling, but if Carl says that they are, then they are. So this is
Tinkle Tom's bell.
Special shout out and thank you to our show sponsor once again, Nathan Brashear of Monsters Are Real. Please do visit the video description below and check out Nathan and his body of work, and visit monstersarerealmusic.com. Get all the latest there, and definitely check out Nathan's Spotify. It will be in the video description here as well. A lot happening today in music history, so I'm just kind of going to go through the cliff notes here, right? So so today is, by the way, March 31st, 2023. So this day in music history in 1992, Def Leppard released their 5th studio album, Adrenalize, and blah, blah, blah. I could have sworn I read something else.
Exciting stuff.
Isn't it?
Captivating our audience again.
I think I meant to skip that one, actually, because it really wasn't that interesting, but we forgot about it later on. So
a really interesting fact that I've decided isn't interesting.
It really wasn't. So this day in music history, March 31st, 2023 is this day, but back in 1976, Led Zeppelin released Presence, which was their 7th studio album on their Swan Song Records in the UK. Presence has now been certified 3 times platinum, and the US sales in excess of 3 million copies. So I think that was a pretty cool fact there. 1962. This day in history, the Beatles played their first gig in the south of England when they appeared at the Subscription Rooms, Stroud on the same bill as the Rebel Trousers, and tickets cost 5 shillings at the time, which was 70 cents. And let's do some celebrity birthdays. Anybody that we know? Let's see, Angus Young. Angus Young.
Okay.
This day in history was born in 1955. We also
Angus is the guitar player, isn't he, with the duck walk thing, and with the AC. Yeah, well, sort of duck walk one. He's got the guitar and schoolboy uniform.
That he does. Yes.
Yes, that's Angus.
Much known for that. Hugh McCracken. Who the hell is Hugh McCracken? It almost sounds like a joke, Phil McCracken.
Ivor Biggin.
Mike, doesn't matter.
Angus Young celebrating birthday today. Paul Ferguson, Hugh McCracken, Tony Yayo, Jack Antonoff. These all just sound like fucking leading their way up to jokes, don't they? Jack Antonoff. Okay. Anyway, those are the celebrity birthdays. So, and the news to this day in music history. So, cheers to everybody who is celebrating a birthday along with those artists. And that's pretty much about it. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Happy birthday.
Oh, my glass has vanished.
You haven't got a drink problem anymore. Vanished.
Got to get that beer to vanish also. So before we get on with the show here, by all means, folks, please do once again visit the video description below, not just to visit these fantastic artists that we're going to review today, but also find usundergroundsound.com, which is our home website. I'm going to be working very hard on the radio station after this month is over. This month, I am moving to a different location, so we may have another Sorry We Missed You episode, which as of today's recording has yet to be uploaded, but by the time that this is up, it will then be uploaded as well. But so YouTube is really kind of like hitting the brakes on everyone here as far as monetization is concerned. And for content, we've had many videos ourselves that we have not been able to promote through advertising because somehow or another it was either offensive or we were at one point we were promoting the war. I remember as one of the big reasons, or we had shocking content, which obviously as any of you,
it's always shocking content, isn't
it? I feel like we've been doing. I don't feel like we're shock jocks or anything like that. You know, I think that we've been doing a pretty reasonable job. But just in case anything were to happen to this channel here, please do visit our website. Once again, usundergroundsound.com. There will be, I promise I will update it, and the latest videos. If anything happens to this show on YouTube or any other platform, you will be able to get it on the website. So please do check that out. And once again, do visit the artists that we are reviewing there. When you find links, go spread some love, because music is a passion, and you know, we're breaking away from the mainstream, and we're trying to get these indie musicians up there and out there for your listening pleasure. And so I see that track one, we have Bobby Hewitt. Name of the track is A Kid Again. What can you tell me about the song, Carl?
Right. Well, we have Bobby Hewitt, who is a songwriter, producer, musician in Ireland. We haven't been to Ireland a lot, but as we've recently had St. Patrick's Day, this is probably not apt now, but it would have been at one time. But his influences include David Bowie, Gorillaz, Radiohead, Violent Femme, Pixies, Soundgarden, Red Hot Chili Peppers, nearly said Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rage Against the Machine, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, and so on and so forth. But this one is his first and so far only upload onto Slaps. It's had 44 plays. He's got 9 followers garnered from this song so far. I had saved it myself. Actually, for some reason, my saved ones keep coming off. I don't know why. And it says, A Kid Again is my first single in a few years. Spurred on by the death of my dad. I'm saying it all jauntily, and now it's bring it all down. Spurred on by the death of my dad. No, spurred on by the death of my dad, and written for my daughter. Have a listen and let me know what you think if you want. So please also do, audience, share your comments. Give Bobby lots of love, as Tom I'm sure will say anyway. But yes, and this one's called A Kid Again. A Kid Again.
Okay, so here we are off to Ireland. With influences ranging from the Red Hot Chili Peppers to to others. Let's check it out.
Change my ways. I just want to stay the way I am, 'cause living in this world is hard these days, when you try to be the best you can. And those choices that you make, you know they feed you every time. You know it's gonna be another simple day in the vacuum of our minds. And all you see is all you get. No returns and no regrets. way I am. I don't ever wanna change my ways. I just wanna stay the way I am. I don't ever wanna change my ways. I just wanna stay the way I am. I don't ever wanna change my ways. I just wanna stay the way I am. I don't ever wanna change my ways. I just wanna stay the way I am.
That one was "A Kid Again" by Bobby Hewitt. Did you guys see me panicking over here? I nearly ripped the freaking entire computer, the displays, everything. I almost ripped it down and dropped everything on the floor for crying out loud.
What-
Smart monkey. Did that song put you in a better mood after your shit week?
Yeah, it did actually. It had a really good retro vibe and took me back to an era of a bit of my youth, really, when I used to listen to all these sort of indie bands, and it has that real indie feel to it. So, you know, you got back in those days, I would go into the record shop and buy these like compilation tapes. And they'd all be like of upcoming indie bands, and this reminded me very much of that. And back then, some of those bands were bands like Blur and and they were up and coming back in those days. You know, they were like they hadn't actually been heard, and they were on these like promo tapes. So yeah, I was getting those vibes. I was getting Blur, Pulp, Pixies, all of those sorts of really early 90s indie bands, and it's got a very Brit feel to it, which is nice. Chorus was great. I love the chorus, really catchy. And then it really sort of builds right at the end. It's all the layers start building. You've got a really nice ending that then just sort of peters out. So all in all, a really good starting song again. And I love the fact that it was also like an inspirational song, or a song inspired by his father and his daughter, which is a really nice addition to have to that track. So really good opener.
Indeed, I think I think the lyrics are very memorable. Carlos Fandango.
I agree. Good lyrics, and the song definitely has an uplifting feel and a good vibe and feel to it. So yeah, very much a 90s indie rock and Britpop sound to it. Solid production, good words. I like it. I mean, from the outset, I was thinking it kind of sounds like the sort of production sound of Every Day Is Like Sunday, Morrissey sort of sound. There's also a bit of it's almost like a slowed down version as the song develops in before the lyrics come in. Before the vocals come in, you've got this like a slowed down version of Springsteen's Born to Run. There's elements of that in there as well. So there's got that nice sort of feel to it. And then, of course, then you've got your sort of chorus, which kind of harks to the sound and the vibe of Shaker Maker Oasis, which in itself used I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing type of chorus sound to it, the melody. So it's got a lot of that in there, all as a sort of melting pot that makes you feel good. And I like that song. It's really I'd completely forgotten, because it was a long time ago when I put this show together, and I'd forgotten actually, and I thought, oh yes, that's what I know why I liked it, because it had a good feel. So it does make you feel good. It's uplifting, and it's made it should make anyone's day or week better.
Yeah, no, I agree. So the light bulb went off as soon as you heard the song again. And I know I definitely heard, influences varying from what you guys had mentioned already. But the one that I kind of like picked up on, and the one that I enjoyed, is his voice, and kind of like the vibe reminded me a little bit of Tom Petty also. Which was great, because Tom Petty is usually kind of like pretty cheery and has very memorable lyrics, and these lyrics are memorable, and it's definitely for me, it kind of feels like, hey, summer's here, here's a summertime vibe song and everything like that. So once again, we talked about it before, if you're cruising along the road and you're heading on a road trip, you would definitely be having this one. Yeah, the wind rolling over my scalp. since I'm fucking aerodynamic as shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, but the wind blowing through Rob's hair there. So I definitely think that song's the replay value on it is super high. Definitely memorable lyrics. It sounded really good. It didn't really have too many flaws as far as production's concerned. So I gotta say A+, and I've already put a plus mark next to this one without hearing the rest of the songs just yet. But I think that might be so far a front runner for one of my top 3 of the day here. So moving on to track number 2, we have River Gold. And I gotta say, even for a song that's been posted a month ago, 95 plays, 5 saves, 189 fires. The name of the song, I should say, is Jamaican Love featuring Broadway Bisc. I gotta say that those are not bad stats.
Not bad at all. And I think River Gold is we've had River on the show twice before now. We had Girl Like Music. Oh, I've forgotten what the first song was. But this is the third song we've had featured. And again, each one's been slightly different. Well, quite different actually. So I think he's exploring different avenues. That's right, because we had the one that was sort of like going back to country roots, he said, and then we had Girl Like Music, very soulful. This one's more of a reggae sort of song. So it's he's trying different things. He's experimented. He's not staying in the same lane all the time, which is really good.
That's nice. Exploration with music is definitely a key to make yourself a better musician and to definitely boost up your production. So Jamaican Love featuring Broadway Bisc, River Gold. Let's check it out.
Jake Angel on the track.
Yes, I'm taking trips out to Jamaica. Come rock with a player. I like girls that do it all, and I bet she will like Jada. I'm about to lay her on a pile of diamonds. Bet she'll let me toss a salad on $1,000. Dog, we sky high in the mountains. I like how she be bouncing. Crazy with that head, yeah, it's like she needs some counseling. I play with them mouses, so I got it to blow. We be setting reservations, fancy wine and she remind me of me light, cause this girl is fire. Like to call me king, boy, she like to call me sire. Told me that she love me, I told her that I like her. Pillow talk always make me out to be a liar. She remind me of me lighter, cause this girl is fire. Like to call me king, boy, she like to call me sire. Told me that she love me, I told her that I like her. Pillow talk always make me out to be a liar.
Baby girl, I like you, even though you love me. You're calling me a sire, you put no one above me. Drop a 4 up in the Sprite. My cup is looking money, I don't care who'll be around. I fill you up in public, always call me a liar. Ooh girl, you getting fired, I'm always on my job, don't care who getting hired. She remind me I'm a lighter, can't keep this chick in pocket. I'm always catching feelings, ooh girl, I gotta stop it.
She remind me of me lighter, cause this girl is fire. Like to call me king, boy, she like to call me sire. Told me that she love me, I told her that I like her. Pillow talk always make me out to be a liar. She remind me of me lighter, cause this girl is fire. Like to call me king, boy, she like to call me sire. Told me that she love me, I told her that I like her. Pillow talk always make me out to be a liar. Sure enough, if she in it for the money, she gon' be it for a minute. Gon' take forever to spend it, my pockets on the limit. My watch has got no ticking, I own it, I ain't renting, I ain't bragging, I'm just venting. Put you in the finest linen, keep our weed in the jars. Our diamonds look like stars, Fendi, Chanel, Gucci, Christian Dior. Say we in Vegas till tomorrow, and if we playing cards, let me be your king of diamonds, you can be my queen. She remind me of me lighter, cause this girl is fire. Like to call me king, boy, she like to call me sire. Told me that she love me, I told her that I like her. Pillow talk always make me out to be a liar. She remind me of me lighter, yeah, cause this girl is fire. Like to call me king, boy, she like to call me sire. Told me that she love me, I told her that I like her. Pillow talk always make me out to be a liar.
Monsieur Smart Monkey. I gotta say, you know what? If the first song didn't cheer you up, that song definitely had to have.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Tom, you mentioned before that the first track gave you a bit of summery vibes, and this one gave me summery vibes. So maybe there's a theme to the show already that we might be picking up on. But yeah, really, I really enjoyed that. You know, it's got that reggae feel going all the way through, and it's a nice mix as well. It's a really sort of rich and nicely produced track. Loving the horns and the driving bass in it. They're just brilliant. They just drive that track all the way through. What was interesting is the vocals. Are they all River doing those vocals? Because I think he was quite clever if they are, because there are times where he almost sounds like different people are adding vocals to this track just by adding a bit of a vocoder or a tune or something in it, and then changing the pitches. It comes across as though there's different people adding their vocals into the mix, and so it really keeps the interest going, and you know, the ebb and flow of the song is moving because of those interesting parts. So it's a clever track actually, and a really good feel good vibe to it again. Like I say, it's got a real summery vibe again.
I agree 100%, Mr. Fandango.
Yes, indeed. I think what Rob said basically ditto to that. I think definitely got hot summer's day, evening beach party vibes to it. So, and this song is all about the groove, and like reggae, you know, it's always about the bass, the driving bass. But it's this kind of reggae rap. Nearly said a reggae whap. For some reason, turned into Jonathan Ross. It's a reggae whap, and yeah, there's no swearing, nothing, you know, horrible in there. But you know, there's catchy chorus, and it repeats, you know, what, 4 or 5 times or something, and it's like to call me king, but she likes to call me sire, all that kind of thing. It just stays in your head. Nice lines. But I like the brass at the end of the organ. I think if that organ and brass, there's probably room for a little break with that, a little breakdown or something, with that being really prominent. Because I mean, I love reggae organ sound anyway. You know, love those old all the Trojan sounds and things like Liquidator and, you know, stuff like that. It's just fantastic. So I think, yeah, make more of that as well is would be no bad thing. But good vibe, like it. I really like this one. Yeah.
I gotta agree with both of you. Obviously, I dropped this one a ton of fires here. I did save the song, and I think it was a really cool jam. I do like the element that this is kind of like that hip hop, reggae, rap kind of like vibe. Like it's a 3-in-1 kind of song, right? Because the thing with reggae, I think especially, is that it's either good or it's shit. Right, there's really no in between as far as reggae is concerned, and so this one definitely on the good portion, on the good side of things here. I gotta say, really good production. Pumping it through the monitors here was just a nice kind of like boom, boom. You know, had a lot going on to it. Why are you guys laughing?
You got so many double entendres in this one. We've had brass on the end of the organ.
I like reggae organ, and I think you just there's something you just said a minute ago. Actually, I thought that was what Rob was laughing at.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was though.
No, I get that. She's just gone.
Yeah, it was there because I was going to say what it was, but I'd forgotten.
You made
me chuckle too.
Double entendres, we love them.
Yep.
Brass on the end of the organ.
Okay. I totally lost my train of thought now.
Yeah, totally put you off now. I'm very sorry. But if you can remember your double entendre, that'd be great, because I forgot it.
Song was awesome, by the way. You know, so just hey, visit the description below. Check out River Gold over here with what is it? Jamaican Love featuring Broadway Bisc. Go ahead.
I was just thinking the Broadway Bisc. Maybe that was the different voice. I was listening out for a distinctly different voice, but they were done so similarly that I thought, oh, maybe that's. Yeah, I mean, I've done it before where I've sort of had a featured artist in a song that's me, you know, doing a different voice. So don't let any trade spoilers alert. Like anybody cares.
Carlos Fandango featuring Carlos Fandango.
Carlos Fandango, yes. In disguise. That brings us to our segues us nicely, not really nicely, to our third bowl. First bowl portion. This is why Tom's the host. Back to you, Tom. Back to you, Tom, in the studio.
Okay, so the only time that we've actually had a third bowl of Destiny was the Sorry We Missed You episode, last week's episode. So the first Purple Bowl of Destiny,
Here it is, the bowl,
Yeah.
the bowl, the bowl.
We are so on top of our game today as usual.
The bowl wanted to just do something a bit special today, so I don't know why, but the bowl wanted some eyes. So
It looks like a bra.
Well, it was
oh, I see. Yes, you can't see the eyes, can you, from there? If I put my hand there, does that help? Oh, no, that's even worse, isn't it? Because I'm holding a bra now. I'm molesting a bowl. There we are, eyes. Not a bra.
so at first it looked like you were trying to cop a feel, then it just looked like you were choking somebody. So
I'll just hold that for it.
That's right, double-handed, Carl, double-handed.
Double-handed. Do you know, I've got a friend who
Well done.
you always take sharp intake of breath. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? He's just really good at unclipping bras. I mean, yeah, when we're out and I don't want to give away but when we're out on a social gathering, he'll just do that as his little party trick. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's really tricky because you've got 3 latches to do, and it can take ages. But he just goes, look, and it's done.
You got quite annoyed by the end of the night. I'm doing your bra all night.
Yeah, it did get annoying. I just took it off in the end. Let the old moves hang there. Right, who wants to? Oh, by the way, don't forget, we've got this new. I haven't printed one out yet, but we've got this new ticket that says we choose. Smart Monkey gets to choose. So I'll just put this in here, not hang on to it, and then you say when.
Okay, when?
Oh, well, let's see which one leaped out. Call my words today. It actually does say.
What the hell does that say?
We choose. Smart Monkey gets to choose. Yay! That wasn't contrived. It wasn't fixed. It was all legitimate and above board.
Yes, sir. Smart Monkey, you choose.
I get to pick my category. Oh, it's going to be electronic, I expect. No, me, sad as I am.
Okay.
I don't know what all the categories are. What are all the categories?
There's quite a few on Slaps, so I'll just read a few out.
We'll do electronic this week, and I'll have a dig around and see what they are for other weeks because
So just the top 5 groups that I can actually see here is electronic dance music, electronica, electronic hybrid music, and electro house is pretty much where that's going. So just the electronic, if you want to hit that one.
Yeah, if you can find electronic there somewhere.
I do. Ooh, hot off the press.
It's Smart Monkey with his
and DJ X Tech.
What a fucking coincidence! Huh? Purple Bowl of Destiny. No, hot off the press. We have OldPlay, not Coldplay.
I was about to say Coldplay. I was like, what?
No, not Coldplay. OldPlay. Where are you? MSH OldPlay. Posted 16 seconds ago.
Oh, wow.
How's this? Look at the page I was open on this joke book, right?
Right.
How's this? And it says, the older you get, the better you realize you were. It's not really a joke or anything, but it's just one of those one-liner things. But it's all about old people jokes.
And
that's OldPlay.
Oh,
that's
right,
it.
Okay. I thought you just because there's 3 old dudes on the screen here or something.
What's pink, smells of wee, and goes in, out, in, out? Granny doing the hokey cokey. What's pink, wrinkly, and hangs out your trousers? Your mother.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, but how apt was that for OldPlay? I mean, yeah, it could have been better. That was the page I had open. You could segue this nicely by saying, what's not pink and wrinkly is this song.
Let's
It might be pink and wrinkly.
let's go with what Carlos Fandango said. So presenting screen now. So girl, old play. Where are you? MSH old play. Let's boy. How a row?
It's that's probably correct as well.
God, I hope so. Because it says he's starting his career as a DJ at the age of 52. Let's see, rock, pop, electronica, EDM, tech house, Afro house, Brazilian music, Brazilian bass. Just some of the influences here for our friend OldPlay. But it's 2 minutes at this point that the song has been posted. Where are you, MSH OldPlay? 4 minutes, 57 seconds long. Absolutely no plays. 2 comments, but I mean, they're comments from.
Well, I suppose we could add comments. How Aral? No, what's the actual artist
Are
name?
you
You can set this up.
How oh my God!
You say it and I'll answer.
It almost looks like "How are you, ho?" You know. So
How Aral, and I say I'm very well, thanks.
let's give it a listen. Where you are, MSH OldPlay. Let's check it out. That was OldPlay from Vila Velha, Brazil. Smart Monkey.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. Great opening beat. So straight away, right from the outset, this beat sort of hooks you in. Then the bass sort of powers on through. There's a lot of good elements to that track, and the ebb and flow just kept on going, and it had a really good sort of electronic dance vibe to it. I like the vocals. It was difficult. I think they needed to draw it out a bit, but it's difficult to say because this is the first listen of it. And I know that sometimes when we listen to it through this show on our first listen, it can be, it may not be the best presentation of it that we hear. So it may well be nicer. So I'll give it another listen to. So I'll hold reservations on the production side of it. But it had me sort of bopping around here. I really enjoyed it. I had a really good vibe to it. And I think Purple Bowl did really well there, actually. Well done, Purple Bowl.
I think well done, Purple Bowl, especially since that song, don't show the bra again.
Well done, Purple Bowl. Bro?
Bro. Yeah. Those eyes don't tell it all, but that bowl is smiling.
Really?
That bowl is definitely very chuffed with your comments there, Rob.
Please don't put a smile on the bottom of it because this is just... All right, but I don't know if it's intentional or not. But here, Carlos Fandango may have set up a summertime vibe theme for the show, and the Purple Bowl had chosen again a song that kind of feels very summery. So, Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, like Rob said, it comes straight in with a beat that's sort of a nice driving beat, and I've put actual comments on there. I don't know how many fire you gave it, Tom, but it seems to be on 22 at the moment. So I've said a driving beat from the get-go, some nice vocals and a nice array of synth sounds. Oh God, I've used nice a lot. A nice array of synth, nicely constructed and produced. A good club. Oh my goodness, a good clubbing EDM track. Nice work. Do you think I think it's nice? But for me, this is like a club version, a 12-inch style, extended version of the song. I think you could probably, it wouldn't do any harm to do a single release version of 3 minutes 30. It'd be quite adequate, I think. So as you say, it was a bit drawn out, but I like some extra rhythmic elements towards the end as well. Was quite nice actually when all the vocals dropped out and it was just the music at the end, just playing out the end of the track. You had some bongos, a few other bits in there. So and those rhythmic elements do make the song move and groove quite nicely. So I actually think that was a really good choice from the bowl. Really liked it.
Nice. And the 12-inch would be nice.
I think the 7 inches is adequate though.
7, okay.
More than adequate, really. I think 12 inches is greedy. That's just greedy.
Stop bragging about your shoe size, all right? Listen, we just had spring break here in Florida not that long ago. So this could very easily be so I don't know if this is a remix track or if this is an original track. I'll have to get in touch and maybe find out about that, right? But the thing is even if it is a remix track, then it's working very, very well, because I could definitely see our friend here out on the beach in Clearwater with a whole bunch of spring breaker college kids out there just dancing and having a really good time. It definitely had that oomph to it. It definitely had a nice summery vibe to it. It really had a lot going on. So I got to say, an overall feel-good song from the electronic perspective of things. And so far, I got to tell you, not disappointed with the show, and not disappointing where the show is headed today. So nice job, nicely done. So
I actually think the artwork's pretty good on that one as well. When you look at the single artwork, it's got the lovely colours, quite distinctive and catchy. I noticed on there it does say John Summit and Hayler. So you might be right with the remixed version of a song, but if it is, it's done a good job. It's done it justice.
Yeah, it still works whichever way he worked with it, right? The vocals were crisp, the beat was crisp, everything was kind of like where it really needed to be. I know that on your end, you guys hear the audio a lot different than what I do. So,
I don't hear any audio on my end.
Oh my God! I fucking knew that comment was coming too.
Only in my ears.
I set myself up for that. We've been having a bit of fun in our group chat on WhatsApp. So, folks, please once again visit the video description below. Check out these artists. Check out our show sponsor. Go drop some fire. Show some love. You can find that song from what I saw Bandcamp, but I'm pretty sure that if it's released through DistroKid, it's probably available on Spotify and other platforms as well. Go show some love for that one. And moving on to our fourth actual scheduled song of the show. This is Zeph Henderson, Repetition of the Stars. Tell me about this one, Carl.
So Zeph Henderson, or Zephaniah Henderson, we don't actually know where Zeph is from. Joined Slaps in April 2019, come up for his fourth Slaps anniversary, or third Slaps anniversary, I suppose, technically, and doesn't say who the influences are, apart from John Powell, Hans Zimmer, and NF. And this one, Repetition of the Stars, it says, this track is chill, ambient, clean pop. I would love to know what you think of this style. Hasn't drawn many saves, me, and 13, 5, 15 plays. Comments either from myself, others say, nice vibe. Somebody that we know on the show says, liked the chill vibe, nice track. Might have been Smite Monkey. And this does have a nice chill vibe. So it's the same sort of comments coming up here. It's the vibe and the chilled vibe thing coming through. And this actually in the chill vibes and acoustic category. So there's no surprise that it's a chilled vibe. But this is our slot, isn't it, for the sort of ambient, chilled vibe, unusual tracks, instrumental tracks. So
it's about that time. It's usually about track number 4, because I know before break we usually have one that kind of like rips the frickin' mold and gets us to talking quite a bit. So let's see if this show holds true. But for right now, here's Zeph Henderson, A Repetition of the Stars, available on Spotify and Apple Music as well. Wow. I hope the song is good. For 5 months, being posted 5 months ago, 14.
I must have picked up on the repost when it was reposted then, so
Okay.
not realised.
Well, I mean, it's fine. So 14 plays, 1 save, 13 fires. 1 comment is, in fact, from our very own Smart Monkey, who said, liking the chilled vibe, nice track. So has heard this one before. Repetition of the Stars by Zeph Henderson. Let's check it out. Oh boy, fellas, I absolutely love our show. Carlos Fandango, take it away. Turn on your mic.
Oh, I said something so profound then I can't remember what it was. It was. I agreed with you, ditto. It is good to do this show, and you know, if you look on his profile picture, Zeph's, looks like a really nice bloke, jolly chap kind of thing. And but I think he's creating some nice music here now. So it's nothing sort of like I would say that grabs you in a sort of, you know, like an outstanding piece of music, but it's nice, and it's a solid piece of music. It uses some nice sounds. The delay on the guitars, particularly towards the end, is nice. And I seem to like the word nice today, don't I? So, and the vibraphone, also one of my favorite instruments, creates nice, cool atmosphere. Bit of ebb and flow in there as well, but it's a well constructed song. It's good. But I like the fact that it could go on one of those chill out albums very easily, just sit there amongst all the other chill out songs and it wouldn't be out of place. So to the extent that actually it's sort of very theme tuney and could be used as on TV or something as background music or as a sort of intro outro theme or segue sort of piece of music. So I think I look forward to hearing more from Zeph, actually, because I think he's capable of doing more good music. Absolutely.
I was really thinking end credits to a movie somewhere there. Smart Monkey, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a nice bit of a guitar ambient there. I thought the guitar was nice. I thought
Nice.
it had some nice layers.
Nice.
Good, nice effects. Some nice synth pads.
Nice.
It was quite nice, to be honest.
What you doing? I'm just noising your noise. Go.
Nice.
No, seriously though, it was a really good bit of guitar ambient there, and had a really good feel to it. And actually, it reminded me of Mike Oldfield in places, and some of that sort of early stuff that Mike Oldfield would be pulling together. So, really, really enjoyed it. And what you saw my comments there, so this has been the second time. It was
real nice.
So I was making me laugh here. So, but yeah, it had some really good elements of acoustic sounds with synth pads, and like Oldfield would do, merging the old with the new and the classic with the modern. So I really enjoyed it. Altogether, it was a really nice track. It was nice.
It was nice. Actually, yeah, good point about Mike. I'm really having trouble with words tonight. I nearly said Merc Oldfield. Merc Oldfield. He's and I think early 80s to mid 80s Mike Oldfield sound. Very much so, yes. Christly sort of album sound. Yeah. Okay. Back to you, Tom.
Well, thank you, Carlos. Very nice of you.
That's very nice of you.
Back to you, Tom, in the studio.
I got to think if you replace the piano with the guitar, we're looking at something like Robert Miles here. Probably, I get the Mike Oldfield vibe to it and everything like that. I really dug this. The first person that this reminded me of, if you guys haven't seen the YouTube videos of Lucas Strickland yet, then go check those out. Absolutely, 100%. He's a fantastic guitarist who plays like these double neck and triple neck guitars and does like the bass and the claps and the drums all at the same time. And he does like a lot of remixes of, like, let's say you'd enjoy Carl very much. So he does Simon and Garfunkel, for crying out loud.
I don't think they did that one, did they?
No, they didn't.
They did it the opposite of that, which was Sound of Silence, rather than crying out.
Silence. There you go. Sound of Silence.
Oh, there we are.
He did a really good job with that one. The first song that he did, which turned me on to him, was Gorillaz Feel Good Inc. And then from there, I was just kind of hooked. Like, he did this whole Prodigy thing where he was walking down between shipping containers and everything like that, and he grabbed it.
Oh, I have seen. Yes, I know who you're talking about now.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yep, I've seen that. Really good.
And so that guitar playing right there was very reminiscent to me of Luca and Luca's style right there. Luca obviously remixing this gentleman here, Zeph, clearly doing his own music, which I thought was a really good chill vibe. And the things that really stuck with me is that guitar and that little bit of that backing bass that was there. It really kind of like flowed together. So I think it's a great track, nicely produced, and I gotta say it was pretty nice.
Nice.
31 then. Nice.
We agree.
Yeah. So we got
yes, I thought I'd stick this one in.
Exactly.
Just to give you a little bit of test your vocal abilities here.
Thank you, Carl. I've been looking at this, and so we have Mahir Gül.
Yes, Mahir Gül.
So fucking Bananarama. I don't Bana
Benzeyeceksin.
Benzeyeceksin.
Yes, Bana Benzeyeceksin.
Something like that.
That's exactly like. So basically, Mahir Gül is from Hoddesdon in UK, and basically was born in Turkey. Mahir Gül is a singer-songwriter and guitarist. Been living in the United Kingdom since 1996 and composes songs that reflect on real lives and emotions of real people. Played at several venues, live and so forth. So influences aren't listed, but I can tell you the comments on this track. Again, it's not like it said it said 3 saves and 26 fire only and 63 plays. So it's not like there's lots of people sort of saving it, but it's not bad. Badly received, but yes, people are saying well produced, very mellow, smooth, like the vibes. That one's in Turkish, I can't read that one. So this one's a different vibe and a good one. So, and fire. So yeah, I really like this one. So I'm hoping that, again, we travel all around the world. Yes, it's in the UK, but it's got a very much Turkish sound to this one, and I do like a lot of Turkish music. My ex-wife was family on her mum's side was Turkish Cypriot. So probably still are. But basically, they used to play the sort of lot of that kind of music and stuff here and there. And I actually really liked some of it. But this one's excellent. It's got a great atmosphere to it.
All right. Nice. Let's check it out.
Yes.
Yelkeninde rüzgar yok, bana benzeyeceksin. Geçmişini bozdurup yiyeceksin. Desem de faydası yok. Belli ki gideceksin. Kendini boş bir hayale emanet edeceksin. Kal desem de faydası yok. Belli ki gideceksin. Kendini boş bir hayale emanet edeceksin. Yelkeninde rüzgar yok, bana benzeyeceksin. Geçmişini bozdurup yiyeceksin. Yelkeninde rüzgar yok, bana benzeyeceksin. Geçmişini bozdurup yiyeceksin. Süpürgesine binecek gideceksin. Issız izbe bir diyarda yitip tükeneceksin. O çalı süpürgesine binecek gideceksin. Issız İzbe bir diyarda yitip tükeneceksin. Yelkeninde rüzgar yok, yiyeceksin. Yelkeninde rüzgar yok, bana benzeyeceksin. Geçmişini bozdurup yiyeceksin. Geçmişini bozdurup yiyeceksin.
All right, Mahir Gül. That song is available on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music, and YouTube. For what it seems like, has a long list of credits. I'll try to add those onto the graphic screen. Smart Monkey, take it away, sir.
Yeah, a really interesting sort of Turkish, I guess, pop song. I think is what you would class it as. Really nice production on this, I thought, and it really does sound as though there are some quite talented musicians behind this track. To be honest, so yeah, it has a really sort of solid vibe to it. Really good sort of solid pop track. If I understood the lyrics, because for once, I've traveled the world a few times and understood this, or I looked it up on Google Translate. I'll let you decide which one is the true story. But it seems to be looking at a retrospective look at it's a song looking back at the past and feelings, and it's a retrospective song, and it has a really kind of soulful feel to it, where you get that, even though it's kind of a pop song, it has this kind of undertone of looking back and memories and things. So it's actually quite a really good, clever song with some very talented people behind it, I think. And that flute solo at the end is just brilliant. I love that. Really good work on that. And just one more thing, I looked at the artwork and I thought that was really good too. I really like the cover. So all round quite nice.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. So I got to say, the artwork, yeah, I agree with you 100%. The artwork looks like something that you'd hang on your wall. So, Carlos Fandango.
Certainly is nice artwork. I love it. It's nice. And it does say here, yeah, the translation is "you'll look like me," or "you will look like me." And basically, it says, "I composed a beautiful poem of dear Ibrahim Karacha in 2014, and we recorded this piece in the studio summer 2022." So it's a work long in the making, but it was a really big collaborative effort, because you've got bass guitar, a chap from Brazil, drums, a chap from Istanbul, Turkey. The producer has also done the shakers and so forth. You've got vocal recordings from David Savietti in London as well. So it's a proper sort of collaboration of artists, and properly mixed and mastered, really well produced, top-notch production. This one, it's the guitar's fantastic, and the flute, really, that solo is just awesome. It's kind of up there with the sort of Jethro Tull type style of sounds, and towards the end on the fade out, and that in itself is an art, having a good fade out, and that was perfect. That was done just perfectly. The sound of his voice I really like. The whole timbre of his voice is great, but the close harmonies, reminiscent, if you've heard David Bowie's Black Star album and the track Black Star, about halfway through, it's got those kind of Middle Eastern close harmonies. Really good, but the whole sound is brilliant, and could easily be used in a Turkish movie or drama or something, and wouldn't be out of place there at all. But I really like that one. This is possibly likely to be my top 3 because I love the exoticism of the music. It's nice.
It is indeed nice. Do you know who Terry Crews is?
Tom Cruise's dad?
No.
No? All right.
Terry Crews. Here, let me show you a picture here. So,
Worth a guess.
Right. Oh yes, from the comedy TV, the
I love
police
him.
comedy.
He's brilliant.
yeah.
He is brilliant.
So, since there's been some time spent mentioning it, Terry is actually a classically trained flautist. He plays the flute very.
Yeah, I mean, that guy is talented in so many
ways.
areas.
Football, acting, flautist. I
He's
mean,
just
he's just beyond talented, right? So, Terry Crews, I think he may have enjoyed this one because you mentioned the flute solo, and the flute really stands out there. It really stands out in that song.
Really good.
But it's nicely done, and as the description suggests, it was a proper track recorded in a proper studio with proper musicians. So, I don't really know that there's much here to deliberate into, review and boast. The song was good overall. Love the guy's voice. Honestly, the voice came out like super crisp, clear. It really hit the notes where it needed to. It was obviously, you could tell, a bit of an emotional piece, but as the description suggests, is that it's very reflective, right? So it's remembering somebody in a certain way that the song was written for. So, I got to say, it's just brilliant all around, honestly.
But when you think about it, I mean, the fact that this just goes to show what the modern world's like in the world of music, that you can actually, if you connect with artists around the world that you know, or happen to sort of connect with through slaps and social media like this, then you can. I mean, this wasn't put together in a studio together. This was a bass guitarist in Brazil. This was the drummer from Turkey, Istanbul. All their elements have been pulled together very cleverly and very well, considering it's a collaborative effort where everybody's being disjointed from the music and the original track. That's quite an impressive outcome, really. It just shows what's possible.
Very much so, yes. Folks, it never hurts to ask questions and get in touch with somebody. Most of the people that you'll find on Slaps are usually genuinely good people. As Carlos and I have met through Slaps, and as a result, Smart Monkey and I have met through Carlos. So we're kind of like all in the same circle here, where we kind of like all have one point of origin. So I do encourage you to visit the video description below. Find the links to all of these fantastic artists. Not only that, but you will find links to link up with Carlos Fandango, Smart Monkey, and myself. You will find my personal email there. So if you ever have any kind of questions or whatever, you can contact me directly. I will get back to you on a first come, first served basis. Obviously, that was our 5th song of the day, which I got to say, so far this show is shaping up really nicely with all kinds of, it seems like we started off with a summer vibe, and we're ending up with nice classical music that we'll probably hear years and years and years and years down the line. But for right now, we are going to take our break. It will be absolutely seamless for you. Maybe. We'll start over here with the pin. Follow. And welcome back to the second half of the Underground Sound. Once again, I would like to thank our show sponsor, Nathan Brashear of Monsters Are Real. Please visit monstersarerealmusic.com. Check out Nathan's body of work there. Also, hop into the video description below. Check out the so far fantastic artists that we've been reviewing today. And obviously link up with myself, Carlos Fandango, and Smart Monkey if you so choose. And gentlemen, we have a message from Steven Tyler.
Yeah. Don't meant to say that yet. Yeah. That's wow.
Wait a second, guys.
Yeah.
Get this. We have a message that reads, digging the underground sound. Would love to hear more rock and roll tracks. Some serious talent out there. Keep on rocking, dudes. And that's from Steven Tyler.
Oh wow, Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, the world famous multi-million selling US rock band.
Yeah, amazing hits like Dream On, Walk This Way. Dude looks like a lady. That's Steve Tyler. My God. My God.
No, guys, I'm sorry. That's Steve and Tyler from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Not to be confused with Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, the world famous multi-million selling U.S. rock band with hits such as Dream On, Walk This Way, and Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Oh, okay. Not Steve and Tyler, right?
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah. Smart Monkey, very disappointed, obviously. It says here, Steve and Tyler run the Swingers Paradise discreet retreat near the Smoky Mountains, and that what happens here stays here. Discretion is our watchword. Ha!
Wow.
That's okay. Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute though. Steve and Tyler at the Swingers Paradise.
Yes, Steve
Oh,
and Tyler.
I think I might know them.
You've been up the Smoky Mountains then, have you?
I'm not saying nothing.
Oh,
Although I just did by saying that I think I might know them at the Swingers Paradise. Oh, good memories. Good memories.
Can you tell we're going unscripted at this point? It doesn't feel much different.
We need to, I feel since we're doing the show a week in advance, we should probably do the star message a week in advance too.
I did. If you look at the date, it was sent on the 26th of March, quite a few 5 days ago.
I had a lot going on, Carl.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so
I've been practicing in the mirror since. I mean, it just shows, doesn't it?
well, I can fucking
I
tell.
mean,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, my bit was pretty bang on, to be fair.
You're talking about the script, are you?
What script?
Oh yeah. No script.
What script? What are you talking about?
All ad-libbed. All ad-libbed.
I spent the whole week at Swingers Paradise just for research. So I'm telling you.
Even Tyler.
It's all right.
Alrighty. Folks, once again, please visit the video description below. Check out these awesome artists that we have reviewed already and are about to review. We still have 5 songs to go on today's show, episode number 31. Glad to be doing episode number 31. Also, time seems to just be flying by with these. It is now the end of March. April's coming up. This show will be obviously posted the first week of April. And soon we will have our May show, and we're working on our Harry show and our Tragic Mike show, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If you've been having fun with us so far, then those episodes are definitely not going to disappoint at all if you are in touch with our humor side here. So moving on to track number 6, I see we have Monster by a band called Increment.
Yes, you may recall we had Increment kickstarting one of our shows a few weeks back, which was the song called 80s. And this time, this one says their latest single, Monster, is about self-reflection, the thought that sometimes you aren't the hero of your own story. Letting people down is a natural passage of growing up, but you can get so caught up that you end up letting yourself down too. Sometimes you have to detach from certain people's perspective of yourself, and Monster is that struggle of accepting and moving on. All that and a 3-minute 47 pop song.
3 minutes, 47 seconds long. I do like the artwork on this one. I got to tell you that much. Monster Increment with Monster, also available on Spotify. Let's check it out.
see that I'm not there. 'Cause all the monsters that you paint me as have always just been in your head. I'm not in your closet waiting for you to fall asleep. I'm just some normal guy who's fallen in too deep with your insanity. Oh, the humanity. 'Cause when I let you down, why do you still paint me as a hero? Baby, you should really know that I'm anything but that. Why do you call me a monster if you don't even call me back? And call me back. So I'm deranged. Well, I hear this every day and I've lost track of all the seeds you plant inside my brain. I'll stay awake from all the times I've heard you say that you call me a monster. I'm just a product of what you made. Of what you made. But when I let you down, why do you still paint me as a hero? Baby, you should really know that I'm anything but that. Why do you call me a monster? You don't even call me back. Why do you still paint me as a hero? Maybe I'm the monster for wishing you would call me back. Maybe I'm the monster for wanting you to call me back. But when I let you down, why do you still paint me as a hero? Baby, you should really know that I'm anything but that. Why do you call me a monster if you won't even call me that?
And that one was Increment with Monster, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Smart Monkey.
Monster. Yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. Nice bit of indie again. So we've had a couple of indie tracks on this show. Really enjoyed this soft vocals. He's got that kind of soft warmth to his vocals that just drive it along, and it reminded me of Lightning Seeds. I haven't heard them for a while, and I thought, oh god, yeah, that's a bit reminiscent of them. And I suppose other bands, Two Door Cinema Club, possibly a little bit of the Pulse, but yeah, you got this really good sort of 2000s, this noughties indie feel to it. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Good, again, a good upbeat song, good vocals, good artwork, good lyrics, solid track.
I did like the artwork as well. Our Carlos Fandango seems to be having some type of distress over at his home there. What's going on, Carl?
Well, when we get to the purple bowl, you'll see what happened. I'll explain what happened, but it was a bit of a...
Oh, you dropped the bra, didn't you?
Well, I'll explain later.
Short.
Whatever I do, I make a bit of a mess doing it. So yeah, basically, yes, I think there's been quite a lot of focus on the lyrics on this one, and pretty good. Yeah, again, yes, you're right. There's sort of soft vocals. Goes well with the music. Very contemporary sound. Noughties, 2010s sort of sound of that kind of alt rock sort of vibe. Solid composition. Nice production, very warm production. This is, of course, their Australian band. I did pick up last time on the. It's a modern affectation of the way the youngsters speak with the hero and so all that. But I'm kind of warming to it because it's got its own sort of feel to it, and it makes the singer sort of stand out a little bit more. But yeah, nice. I like it.
Nice.
Nice.
Excuse me.
Oh, is it me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Handing back over to you, Tom, in the studio.
My bad. So we've definitely had a couple of songs so far that have been very kind of like lyrically oriented, right? This song is no exception to that. I gotta say, I wrote down that this kind of like reminds me of Punks the P, if you remember Punks the P with the fly in the soup and and everything that was going on with that jazz over there. Great song by Punks the P, by the way. If you haven't seen that one, I believe that's on episode 27, 26.
Might be 26, 27 or 28 or 29 because it was 2 in succession. So one of those episodes. Check out all those episodes, folks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, had one on 27, Punch the P. And 28, show 27 and 28.
So it would have definitely been show 27 in that case. If you'd like to listen to that song, it is in my mind a lyrical masterpiece. I very much like the way that it flowed. This song honestly is no different because the lyrics are the important part about it. Everything kind of else falls into place or fades away for you as far as that's concerned. The production quality is kind of like here and there on this one, right? Because the instruments seem to kind of like drown out the vocals at certain points, and I think that the lyrics were very important in this song. So listening to the lyrics and yeah, I just got to say, check this song out and make it your own. If you like, visit the video description below. You'll find the links to these fantastic artists, and yeah, I just got to leave it a good job. I mean, we haven't really had a band so far, or a group, or a song as such this episode where we've needed to give, like, let's say, a critique as far as like the production quality goes. That would be the only thing that I would say on this one, is just up the vocals a little bit and maybe drown the instruments in the background, so that way the lyrics can be heard just that much more. And moving on to our 7th song of the evening, it says All Night, featuring Nook Doe, and the name of the act is Diversity. What we got going on here, Carl?
It says, well, again, I'm sort of bucking my own trend here and going for, well, it says hip hop and R&B soul. So again, for me to choose that, but it does R&B, soul, hip hop, and Christian are the groups he belongs to. So Diversity, the chap behind this is Mike Doe from Philadelphia. Influences include Chris Brown, Drake, Michael Jackson, Lil Wayne, Justin Bieber, that is the actual Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Kalani, Meek Mill, and so yeah, I think this one, I'm sure, had a sort of a little bit of a catchiness to it, a bit of a vibe going on. So we've now moved on from the sort of summer daytime beach vibe into sort of a bit more clubby party sort of vibe, I think, if I remember rightly.
Okay, so it's not Justine Bieber. Right. It is Justin Bieber, the influence here. Diversity, All Night, featuring Nook Doe, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, and with a heart, fire, and a thank you. It says follow my Instagram. Once again, folks, check out the video description below, find these artists if you like them, and follow, fire, show some love. By all means, support the indie musicians. Right now, once again, Diversity All Night. Let's check it out.
Piece. Turn around, let me hit it from the right cheek. You gon' be screaming my name, gon' be moaning my name. When I hit from the back, you gon' be going the same, yeah. You gon' mess around and fall in love. Shorty, I can hit it with your thongs on. I be deep inside, make you moan and cry. And if you ask me, baby, that's what I call a vibe, yeah. See you digging my vibe. I might as well slide when I slide, baby. I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, yeah, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long.
We gon' be all night, baby, I'ma give you this long pipe, and we ain't gon' sleep, we're going all night. Finna take you on a trip, it's a long ride. I'ma rock the boat, 90 so wet, got me bout to float. And shorty, I ain't lying, this is not a joke. I'ma be all night, won't stop the stroke. I got what you need, I'm gon' kiss you from your head down to your feet. So just roll with me, come just hold on me.
I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, yeah, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, I'ma be all night long, baby. All night, I'ma be all night, yeah, I'ma be all night, I'ma be all night, I'ma be all night, I'ma be all night, yeah, I'ma be all night, I'ma be all night.
So, Smart Monkey either jogging or doing something inappropriate. What was
Did all that, was he?
I was getting into the mood, man. I know how this shit works.
all right?
Oh, what, you will be all night long?
Yeah, so yeah, bit of R&B hip hop going on
As
there.
long as it's before midnight, right?
What time is it?
Fucking
Yeah, so it was a good track. I mean, it obviously the vocals have been like auto-tune as often happens, but actually I thought that in this instance it was used to quite good effect, and sometimes it's overdone, and I don't know if it really lends a lot to it, but in this instance I thought it really did sort of fit well with the track, and so it kept that sort of melodic interest throughout that sometimes is missing, because you get this kind of, I've said it before in certain hip hop tracks, this very monotonous, quite dull kind of feel to a track, but this one didn't have that. This was using it well and kept that interest there. So yeah, I think actually this worked quite well, and as Carlos said, it has a lot more going on in it, and kept my interest. Quite soulful hip hop, really. Nice work.
I think it kept more than your interest. You were up out of your seat with that. You were really like grinding on your own.
Grinding. Working.
Whatever that move there was. It's
dad dancing, I think they call it.
Like
Dad
movie. Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, I put about the auto-tune effect, but with a question mark, because I'm thinking, I don't know, it is an overused effect because it's used mostly as an effect as well. And certainly it was in this one, but it wasn't. It was just here and there you noticed it, but it's not too bad. You know, it's just 2.5 minute song, and you know, and short and sweet as is the current way of things with pop music. And but yeah, I mean, it's, some of the chorus stays in your head. I'm gonna be all night long, and it does get in there, so it's a bit of an earworm. But lines like "Babe, I'm going to give you this long pipe," I have no idea what he's talking about here. Smoking, maybe. And selective. I've written down, it's got to be selective if you kiss someone from the head right down to their feet. You've got to select the right person if you're going to kiss their feet. But yeah, it's yeah, it was all right. I mean, it wasn't bad. I think I quite liked it because it had, for me, I don't always select these kind of songs, but I thought this one had enough going on to make it interesting that our audience, you know, a very discerning audience, some or many of them might like this one.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So here's kind of like what I got from it, because it took me back, and it kind of like reminded me of a little bit of Sade, you know what I mean, where it's a very kind of like mellow, kind of like R&B song. So let me start with the production standpoint of things, right? Because I think the production was done really well, all except for I'm going to say the vocals, which I think, you know, if we had a little bit more layering and effects to the vocals, I think the song could have just been that much better. And I got to say, or I should ask, do you gentlemen think that the lyrics were a bit generic for the genre? Is you know, they're kind of like, when we're talking about the R&B kind of like soul aspect, I was expecting something completely different when you had mentioned what the influences are and what the genres were here. I was expecting something completely different. This really sounded like it was like a hookup song.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's basically bragging about, I'm gonna do it all night long type thing, and you know, it's in, you know, bragging sort of song, naughty but nice.
I picked up on that, but thank you for reiterating. So
No,
yeah,
you can say, but that is par for the course with that sort of music. So yes, it's a little old hat in that respect, I guess. But you know, it is what it is.
still a good song. I got to say that I haven't really been, you know, disappointed with any track that we've heard today. So far, we've definitely taken a different turn from the first half. First half, we were definitely on a very different trajectory than we are on the second half. In the first half, we were his summertime vibe. What is it now?
Sorry, I just know what's coming. Oh dear. Just something to make me laugh. You know, when you try and make something better, when you try and make something better, but it turns out worse. I've done that. You'll see in a minute. You'll see in a minute.
I think Purple Bowl might be giving us a giggle
Oh
in a
my
minute.
God. You added panties, didn't you?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Great track, nicely done. Folks, visit the video description below. Check out the links to these artists, and please go visit and make these tracks your own if you like them. Decent enough track, but once again, just my criticism here is that bit of generic lyrics and vocals could use a little bit of layering, maybe a little bit of mastering work there. So moving on, because I am just morbidly fascinated at this point to see what is going on with the Purple Bowl of the
Purple Bowl. So I thought, well, you said it made a big thing about the eyes looking like a bra. So I thought I'd draw a nice smiley face. It looks evil now. What's going on there? It's not right, is it? I've made it worse. Oh dear. But we must get the owl in, because the owl wanted to be part of this, of course. The second Purple Bowl is always the owl's time, and owl wanted to make a bit of a thing going on, and this is it's a bit of an owl joke. Bear with, because he wanted to go for the Beaky Blinders look. So yeah, don't say anything, just laugh. He'd be really angry with me later if you don't laugh. Yeah, it's like a sort of Beaky Blinders. Yeah.
By the way, folks, if you've never checked out Beaky Blinders, it's on Netflix. It is a brilliant show. Seriously, brilliant show.
I've seen clips of it, but that's all I've ever seen. Just never fancied it for some reason.
Oh
but
my God, man! You know, when I come to
every-
England, I'm just gonna like strangle you for some of the shit that you've never seen. You're in England and you've not seen Peaky Blinders.
No. It's just never. I don't know why, but just never appealed. There's something that didn't appeal about it, and it should because I like historical things and stuff. And I don't know.
That's a show. That's one of those shows which I will praise up and down because it has a very solid storyline.
Oh.
The cinematography on it is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
keeping up with the time period is absolutely brilliant. Everything that show has going on is absolutely fantastic. I love that show. Especially because Tommy, he's just the man's man. You know what I mean? He's just like he is king. He is the ruler of his world, and it's just absolutely fantastic. You got to check it out, Carl. You really have to give it a chance.
Get through the soundtrack too. Let's not forget the soundtrack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa,
yes. So we have Nick Cage with Red Right Hand, obviously, that opens up that show every single time. So, folks, by all means, Peaky Blinders on Netflix. Check it out. I guarantee you'll get hooked.
Yeah, I think you'll find Owl actually is the Owler Scout. In this, he's looking really hard.
He is. He's looking quite intimidating. I don't think we should say, don't take the mickey out of him.
No, yeah. He might have some razor blades up under the
exactly.
Cap there.
Settle you down for a minute because I might need two hands for this. I know. Just stay there.
Wait, where was your other hand?
Yeah, I've got both hands free, but it's just difficult to cradle. That's what
You're
cradle.
Brave man sticking your hand up that nasty owl's ass.
Yeah, I forgot to ask earlier. So what's before we get on with the second purple before we get on with the second purple bowl of destiny, what is your pin today, Carl? Or your badge?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's been a serious one, I suppose, but I picked it up today, actually. But it's a sort of prostate cancer, men's prostate cancer awareness. So basically what it is, it's the sort of badge. It's all, you probably won't see it on the screen. Oh, God. So this is made up of lots of little men.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a nice little awareness thing because also when I did send off loads of pin badges recently, and they sent a load, there was one that came through that was I've not been able to quite work out what that is. What do you think? Is that somebody eating a donut or eating a pizza, or is it somebody packing something? What's that symbol? What's that meant to be? It's like a.
Is that
exactly? But so
is that like a COVID one where you cough
is
and
it a mask? Oh, is it? I don't know.
Is he like?
Oh, maybe yes. Maybe he's coughing into a tissue or hanky or something.
What? He's coughing as he's going down an escalator? I don't get it.
Well, I don't know what that is. It looks like he's making something on a like a baker or something, making some pizza or bread or something. And maybe he's munching. Maybe it's employees must. Maybe he's a tester, food tester, and he's testing food.
I look like the two Ronnie's glasses.
Yeah, he's got a giant pair of glasses. Yeah.
So
and I don't know if it's that way or maybe it's that way. I don't know. That puts a different slant on it. So maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know either. It kind of looks like a DJ taking a break from my perspective.
Yeah, or maybe it's just yeah. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. Yeah, maybe it's DJ, and he's sort of like mopping his brow because he's so hot, because he's so
sniffing something rather nasty off his desk, like I just seen the DJ doing just a moment ago. I'm not quite sure.
Maybe he's doing
what? Oh no, this thing like really stunk.
What he picked up a moment ago, but he was sniffing it. He didn't look very impressed.
It's a coaster.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, no, and the thing is it was wet from my glass, and then I wiped it, and I had it like on the bottom. And so I sniffed the bottom of my hand. I'm like, oh my god, that smells like shit. I picked up the coaster, like, oh fuck.
Well, you forgot to use tissue earlier. Oh, still smells like shit.
You spent the time just sniffing around to see where the shit smell was coming from.
mind you, when the cat, you know, when you sort of do something and I don't know, you do stupid things, right? Now, I saw this little bit of brown stuff on the floor, and for some reason, rather than just, like you should just clean it anyway, don't even sniff it, let alone put your finger in it just to, shit.
Yes.
Is it? Yeah.
Definitely shit.
So yeah, I did that. Yeah.
I had a classic where I was cleaning out the cat boxes, and there was one of them little nuggets that was on the floor. I hadn't noticed, and I put my knee in it, and I still hadn't noticed for ages. And very much like Tom, I could smell shit smell everywhere I went. And even the cats were taking an interest in me. They were over and sniffing me all the time. I was like, what the hell? What is that? And then I found this little smear of shit on my knee, which was lovely.
Well, you have to write a song about that. Nugget on my knee.
Fake nugget.
The fucking girlfriend's gonna think it's a proposal song. It's like, no, kneel to some cat shit.
I spent ages trying to think, where's that? And you sort of can't find it, do you? So you sort of go, it must be in my nose. It can't be anywhere. It must be in my nose. And all the time, I just
get out your nose.
Smear on my knee.
Fucking Rob went to work, out to the market, fucking came home. Like, why is this kid following me around everywhere?
Neighborhood cats all after you.
Oh my god! Okay. The purple bowl of destiny.
Right. Okay. So
The creepy bowl.
the creepy bowl of destiny. Who's choosing?
Just fucking get it over with.
Is that demented or what?
Doug's got two bloody mouths.
That looks really fucking demented, man.
Eyebrows in the head now as well. Right, what you?
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
You keep going.
This is getting a bit voyeuristic now.
We're just gonna let him keep going.
Rob's into the fucking show, man. He's like,
Yeah, he's having a ball of the
keep
time.
going, yeah.
Just keep going, man. Just keep going.
Ball's not doing anything. Shall I call it now? Right, there we go.
Let's keep going.
Dance.
Dance.
I just did.
Dance. Dance. So when I see the word dance, I do think pretty much of the Lady in Red when it says about
is dancing with me.
Yeah, and also say about wanting to dance and looking for a little romance, because he always rhymes with the dance with romance rather than romance, and it doesn't quite go. But that's a memorable lyric. It's nice.
Dance, romance.
I've always thought it's just romance.
Yeah, well, it kind of, because it says dance, and then he's sort of looking for a little romance, because it doesn't say romance, it's more months to rhyme with dance, and that's always stuck in my head. That one.
I'm gonna have to give that another listen now.
A little bit. It's not quite romance. It's not quite, but it's more romance.
Right.
In order to be a sort of half run.
Oh,
some songs do that. Some people do pronounce it as dance.
So if he had said dance properly in the first place, he wouldn't have to have said romance, would he?
And that would have been probably true to his actual accent.
You need to give him a little telephone call. Tell him, just a little bit extra effort.
Dance.
little bit of effort in the first place, you wouldn't have had to make up a stupid word called remonths.
Yeah, wouldn't have had to been called. Oh, you could have changed it as well to the Lady in Rood.
Lady in the Road.
Oh yeah, we got a hunky track coming on. Oh my goodness.
Have we?
Yeah. This
Can you say-
this one's for the ladies over here. Look at that beef cake.
That isn't me, is it? Oh no, it's not.
Yeah. It's a bit too much for me, I gotta say. So I always feel like, if you remember Marky Mark from the Wahlbergs, Mark.
Getting excited now, aren't you?
Am I blushing? Am I blushing yet?
You remember Marky?
So he had muscles.
Let's go to a break.
Yeah. Do the pen swish.
Mark Wahlberg from the 90s, later on known as Marky Mark, when he did music. Yeah, that's the kind of cut that I always kind of like wanted. You know what I mean? Everybody wants Brad Pitt like in Fight Club, and not Fight Club. Well, Fight Club and Snatch, right? Brad Pitt looked pretty damn cut in both of those.
Everyone wants Brad Pitt in Snatch. I'm glad you chose Fight Club first.
All right. I'm going to stop digging my fucking grave here, all right? And just say that this track was posted 48 minutes ago. It's listed as Dance. Essimou, Mike Ohearn, also available on Spotify. Let's check it out. You fucking assholes. Oh, I was going to say before we review this song, let's give the ladies a little bit more eye candy. We do have a small.
Oh, him. I see. Sorry.
Oh,
Don't they have enough already?
I wasn't talking about any of us. Like, what the crazy? There you go, ladies. Soak it up. That's just wait for the Tragic Mike episode. You'll be quite impressed at what
some
Carl,
gents
Rob, and I have going on. So we have the Owl of.
Yeah, just. I think that's Owl of Slight Indifference. I thought it was okay, but it felt like it was just using Hadaway's "What Is Love," but really slowed down.
What's going on? Just
And I was trying to think, has it changed it or just used it and slowed it down? Literally, has it changed? And in the headphones, there was a lot of swashing sounds, and I don't know if that was on the track or just the way it was coming across.
No, it was coming across that way.
Oh, it was okay.
Yep.
So it has been manipulated to a degree and changed. But I mean, I love Hadaway's "What Is Love." That's a great track, and but I quite like the use of it. I've never heard it done like that before, so it was intriguing, different, and just as a muscular joke, was it ripped off from Hadaway?
Oh.
I get it.
Not so good. Sorry.
Yeah. Go back to your joke book. That's what I say.
Right. Do you know this hat's really getting in the way, or is it the idea? Was that the idea? It was, wasn't it? The idea was to get in my way. Over to you, Tom, back in the studio.
Oh, welcome to Sesame Street, the British version smart one.
Peaky Blinders edition of Sesame Street.
That would actually be a fun Sesame Street. I'd watch
Yeah,
that.
I reckon. What word are we learning today? Cutthroat.
Cutthroat.
Razor blade. Elmo like.
I used to love Sesame Street. That was one of my favourite programs growing up. Loved it. I was watching a clip of Ernie and Bert the other day, actually. Really fun. They're still funny now. Good comedy is good comedy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not on this show, though.
They'll be looking at the comedy on this show for years to come. They really will.
I think we're getting better at it, though. I think we're really finding our stride as far as the where the comedy aspect is concerned with the show. So, do you have anything to say about the song, Rob?
Yeah. So I wasn't overly struck by what is basically slowing down of the Hadaway vocals, but there was an element in the middle. Actually, I would have liked all of that to have just been wiped and for them to focus, because there were a couple of places where the layers were starting to build, and I thought the track showed promise about mid-part through the song, and then they were taken away again. So we have this build-up of this Hadaway vocal, and then it ends with Hadaway vocal. And where it was just starting to peak with a bit of interest, it then disappeared again. So actually, I would have chucked away the first bit, chucked away the last bit, and actually focused on that middle bit and really started to do a proper decent track. And if it had, you wouldn't even have the copyright issues of Hadaway then, because you're going to have copyright issues using that. So chuck it away, focus on that other bit, because I actually have quite good promise. That's my bit.
I don't necessarily think that I would have placed that song in the dance category, because I really, if a DJ is going and he throws that song on for the 2 minutes and 20 seconds or 2.5 minutes of what the song was, I mean, you're pretty much gonna get the dance floor at a fucking standstill. So
yeah, I don't know how you would actually dance to that one anyway. So
well, I could just about keep up with my Zimmer frame on that one. I'd be all right. I quite liked it. I thought it was really hip and happening.
As far as I didn't notice it like right at the beginning until the lyrics started coming in, but like as soon as the song started, I started singing "What Is Love," in my head already, right? But I didn't realize that that's exactly what it was. So it is just kind of a ripoff. So I don't know how much critique we can give to a slowed down version of an already made song. So it just really took it from let's say 120 tempo to tempo, right? And it's pretty much where we're at there. So I got no. I don't think.
Sorry, I was going to say it kind of made me want to listen to Hadaway's "What Is Love" now.
The actual version of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And yet the mid part, I think, had promise. And ironically enough, you wouldn't have any of the copyright issues with any of that. You wouldn't have any of that relevance. There would have been, you could have it inspired by that Hadaway track, then take those elements out and have your own track. But as the combined effort, it just didn't work for me.
No.
I think that would have worked nicely as a cinematic track if it were listed in the cinematic category. I think that I'd have better expectations for it than I actually did within the dance category.
Yeah, I guess it's all about context. So in the right context, it could be an interesting, like a dream sequence or something set in the 80s. That could easily work then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before. Stranger Things, or now Wednesday is very popular, where they're bringing back the Addams Family and such, right? So, a cinematic sequence where there's a little bit of kind of like darkness and terror going, then maybe a song like that, like a remix like that, would have a spot in one of those, right? But I definitely would not list that into the dance category. It's kind of like misleading. There's nothing really dancey about it, even if we do get to the mid portion where it starts giving a little bit of this hope and promise, but then just kind of drops back to being to what it is. So not a bad track, but once again, it's an already made track, right? So yeah, I mean, we can sit here and deliberate where it should go and things of that nature, but the truth is that it's already made. So let's just move on to track number 9, which
long say goodnight to the Al. Not Al. Say bye.
I'm gonna steal that hat from you when I get there, by the way.
We definitely can. I don't really wear it much these days, so you're welcome to have it.
I like it. It's just it's right up my alley, gray and black, and yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you're going to put it up your alley. I don't know if I'll want to do it to you.
Gray and black and smelling of Cole's head. It's doing it for me. You might have to fight us for it.
Oh my God, I love you, Rob.
I'll tell you what. I'll bring it down to Cornwall and let you two fight it out. Sniff it first, and then see how much you want it.
I don't think there's going to be much fighting. Carl's like, I don't fucking want it.
Well, I don't really. I mean, I used to wear it quite a bit, but I don't really wear it much these days. So I don't know. It's nice. It's a kind of cheese cutter, what they call a cheese, floppy cheese cutter. But it's it's all right. It's not bad. But I just haven't worn it in ages. So used to wear it. Used to walk the dog in it. Actually, go around winter. I don't know what I'm doing here. Walking the dog. Walking Digby, biggest dog in the world.
What is fucking walking the dog a euphemism?
Well, that is an old euphemism, isn't it? I think the old Stones, the old blues song, "Walking the Dog." I think it was actually a euphemism.
There's something behind it, I'm sure.
Just to walk in the dog. Good song.
Whistling do it as well.
I haven't seen Digby, the biggest dog in the world, for years. I used to love that film. You must have seen it, Rob. You both. Tom might not be the right age. Yeah, you must have done.
No, we have Clifford. We have Clifford, the big red dog.
Yeah, but there was a film, I'm sure it's a series as well. But The Littlest Hobo, you must have seen that. That was good. Hobo.
You can see that one.
Yeah, I think you might have seen that. other one online. Or was that the biggest home?
Oh, welcome to the underground sound, folks. You know, we do focus on music most of the time. So please, by all means, visit the video description below. Find these artists if you like any of these songs, and save them, show some fire, show some love in general. We are moving out to the kind of a bit of the depressing.
Oh, that time again, isn't it?
Yeah, the portion of the evening. This is song number 9. We have Light It Up with BPeasy.
Yeah, BPeasy. You may recall we had, again, a few shows back, we had a song of his, feel-good pop song called Like a Glove. So this one is feel-good pop music, singer-songwriter category, pop category. It's this laid-back song about finding someone that changes everything for you. Thanks for listening. And it's called Light It Up. Now, comments so far, it's I only had the one save from me, but I think that doesn't do it justice at all. But it says here, making me miss summer, man. Very chill past the drinks. So we're back into that zone again. We've gone back to the beach, and I think you'll enjoy this one. We're back into that summer happy territory.
Yes, indeed. So BPeasy, Brian Perry, as it were. Not really any type of description on Brian here. He does have an Instagram page. Let's see if we can. Oh, he does not have an Instagram page. Why does it say sorry? I hit the Instagram.
Real BPeasy on Instagram.
Yeah, but it says sorry. This page is not available.
Ooh.
The link is broken. So
plot thickens.
The plot does thicken. Maybe Brian gave up his dream of creating music, which would be definitely a sad thing right here. But Light It Up by BPeasy. Let's check it out.
Just turn
That was BPeasy, Light It Up. And as BPeasy says, I'm in love with you. Rob, a smart monkey. Are you in love with that song?
I thought you were saying you were in love with me for a minute then. I was
I do love you, but
thank you.
That's just a given.
Yes, like Carl said right at the start, we're almost flipping around again to the start of the show where we had these upbeat sort of summery vibe songs, and this definitely had an element of that. And almost like a bit of a 70s feel to me in its feel, a real retro feel again. Kind of like a chilled Mungo Jerry, but not exactly the same, obviously, but it just had that kind of sort of summery vibe to it, a bit more chilled. Liking the use of the harmonies in that song as well. They were nice. They sort of they were nice.
Very nice.
Went together well. So yeah, kind of a positive feeling, sort of a love song, I guess. And yeah, nice sound of production, nice feeling track, generally nice.
Nice.
Carlos Fandango.
I thought it was nice. It's basically, happy, joyous, and very summery. Like you're on an exotic island somewhere, and I think that helps with all the rhythmic elements, and also you've got the sitar in there, that all those kind of sounds, the lovely drum sound, and the snare punches through, lots of detail, and the synths at the end, just so much thrown in there. But a lot of it is the vocal detail, the harmonies that Rob's mentioned, but also it's so melodious. There's just so much melody in there. But it's almost like a sort of, if you think Under the Sea, something like that, there's that kind of Disney-esque sort of theme tune type thing, or song, then, this is a guy who could write for Disney films. So, and they'd be really happy, brilliant, well-received songs. It even got the Susie's seal of approval on here. And that's what Susie's seal of approval looks like, as drawn by me, of course. But no, she actually, when she heard the song, she said, "Oh, I like that one. That's one of the ones she really did like." And I think this would appeal to a lot of people of a certain generation, particularly our audience. I think our audience will like this. Yeah, really nice, and also gets my seal of approval too. Yeah, seal of approval.
Okay. Okay, here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right.
Rob looks disgusted with that one. Sorry.
Because Rob's looking at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I think that I think that it would work nicely as a calypso kind of song. I was thinking, this definitely has a nice 70s kind of like vibe to it, 70s or 80s, right? So I was really thinking like Stevie Wonder with "I Just Called to Say I Love You," right? It kind of has that same vibe going on. So I was also thinking like maybe ABBA, maybe Smokey, maybe something with Rod Stewart, right? Something along those lines, right? But it definitely has this beachy vibe to it. So at first I was kind of like, you know what? I'm not really impressed because the beat sounded like it could have been done like on a Casio keyboard, right? Like you hit that button and you have like that beat kind of like going on, and then you kind of like sing over it, right? So, but in the long run of things, I'm really picturing this once again. If we're going to talk about calypso or something like that, then you're sitting there on a beach and you're kind of like vibing to this band that's just kind of like off to the background playing music. And so I think that in that sense, it's rather enjoyable. Nothing to build up about and nothing to be disappointed with. I just think it was okay. It was nice.
Yeah, I really like that one. To the extent that I would put that on any time. Rob was talking in a previous last show or 2 weeks ago or so, he was talking about putting together a summer playlist, and I think this would be a great summer track. Having a barbecue, happy background music, lovely. And I I think my mum, my dad, and my brother would like this one, just because it's a very sort of upbeat, uplifting song. And again, if you've had a bit of a crappy week, this one will cheer you up.
I'm thinking so, and I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Where this is like the type of song where you would throw on your playlist randomly, and so if it comes up randomly, you're not going to be disappointed. So you're not going to skip it. You're not going to rewind, right? You'll listen to it exactly in the kind of setting that you're talking about, Carl. You're out there in a barbecue. You have friends over, right? The speakers are going, the music's going, everybody's having a good time. So this is definitely that kind of that chill vibe kind of song. So I definitely see it. Once again, akin to ABBA, Smokey, Stevie Wonder for me. But I don't know if there's much to talk about with the production value, because there could be production work, but again, let's just skip that and keep it as what it is.
I like it as it is. I mean, I think I like Brian Perry's work. He's got the capability of writing good songs.
Definitely, for sure. I agree with you there. For our broken hearts, because the show is coming to an end, unfortunately. Not to an end. The show is just coming to a close. Episode 31 is coming to an end, I should say. Carlos, Smart Monkey, and I are not going anywhere. We will definitely be back for the next installments, 32, 33, 34, 35, and so on. Folks, once again, if you'd like to link up with us, visit the video description below and find our links. Carlos has the link tree. Smart Monkey has the website. I have my email. Once again, please do visit our show sponsor, Nathan Bashir of Monsters Are Real. Check out that body of work there. And by all means, all of the music that you have been hearing throughout the show today, please do visit these artists and do show some love, because once again, independent music, I still do truly believe, is going to be our future. I believe that mainstream radio is going to fade away, because, who the hell wants to sit there and listen to a whole bunch of commercials, So it's just the way that it is. Unfortunately, once again, For Our Broken Hearts by Florin Ciobanu.
Ciobanu, yes, indeed.
I may have got that one right.
I think you have. I reckon you have. He'll probably correct us. I'm sure Florin will correct us if we're wrong. However, Florin is from Roziori Deved in Romania. He's an artist, singer, and songwriter. Influences include Shawn Mendes, James Arthur, Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars. So very succinct in the influences there. This one. Now, we've had a few rocking sort of show closers, and this one's more of a sort of, it's a ballad, big ballad, but it's definitely a show closer type of big ballad to end the show well with a bit of a big bang. So I hope it's a good show closer, at least. I thought it was, so let's see what you think.
Nice. So our show closer here, Florin Ciobanu, For Our Broken Hearts, also available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. And of course, just since we're mentioning Romania, I got to send a shout out to our good friend Valentin Vali over there in Romania as well, doing the music that he does. So let's check this one out. For Our Broken Hearts, Florin Ciobanu.
My hand before you leave, and make it last forever. I know it might sound crazy, but trust me, we'll get better. We're supposed to do this, 'cause it'll fix every piece. For our broken hearts, for our broken hearts, they're searching too much to be craze, which made you melt in minutes. That my love for all your grace had reached all my heart limits. We're supposed to do this, 'cause it'll fix, well, how every piece. For our broken hearts, for our broken hearts, they're searching so much to be perfect for each other. It's tearing apart, it's tearing apart our love that was meant to last more than any other. Any other. I'm just holding memories. I know you're gone forever. Our hearts will never be folding for our better.
I'm picking up on that Bruno Mars influence there, Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, I mean, it's gentle introduction, good ebb and flow, lots of drama in the song, which is very much down to that. It's probably the four chord in the chord sequence. It's the minor four chord, I think, that's being used. That adds a lot of drama and tension in there, and he actually alludes to that in the vocals as well, just going before the pre-chorus and into the chorus itself. Yeah, very, very much an X Factor style song, if you know what I mean. So it's like that sort of big winning song ballad type thing where they would show sequences and images of that winner's journey through the whole competition, as they reminisce on the sort of all the stages of the competition. So well written song, and strong, well structured, contemporary vocal. I like his accent, and we don't discriminate about anybody from anywhere in the world. We've had people from all around the world, singing in their own sort of accents, English lyrics in their own accents. And I do always think that adds an extra dimension, a bit of charm and interest as well. But the guitar solo, or guitar break rather than a solo, alluded to Natalie Imbruglia's version of Torn. Most versions of that song are pretty good, actually, including the original. So I should check those out as well. But no, it's a good, strong song. I like it. It's well produced, and I think we could be looking forward to a lot more from Florin.
I'm going to say that For Our Broken Hearts here has a really nice kind of like 90s vibe to it. Smart Monkey.
Yeah. So straight from the outset with those nice breathy vocals, and they're really powerful vocals as well. Actually, they do have that retro feel to them. There's elements almost of a heart, and it's got that kind of 80s 90s feel. No, more 80s to me in my mind. You've got those reverb drums. And again, the reverb being applied to the vocals all adds to that effect. But to me, it's all about that chorus. I mean, it builds so beautifully into it, and then it just booms it out in this kind of energy that's almost anthemic in its quality, and it just makes this track shine. And as soon as I hear that, it just reminds me of like a sort of a soundtrack song like that you would find on the late Tony Scott sort of movies. It builds into this boom, this kind of love scene with, I don't know, cars racing, planes flying. it just has that kind of anthemic feel to it, and it's got a really nice vibe to it. And then that guitar solo, the way it sort of comes in very, quite a short solo, but just peters away into this silence, and then you get the final verse. I think that's a really nice touch. It works really well. So yeah, there's a lot going on that works well in this song, and very much like a movie song, really, a soundtrack song for me.
Indeed. So the aside from the rocket ships taking off, trains going through tunnels, the cinematic experiences of everything like that, I gotta say that this song would fit. If you recall the '90s shows, like let's say the quote unquote girly shows. So if you think of like Beverly Hills 90210 or Melrose Place or the other shows that were going on there that were kind of like let's say female kind of like specific. This song, I think, would have fit really nicely into it. The movie Reality Bites, I think this song would have fit very nicely into that one as well, because it does have that kind of like Weezer and Toad the Wet Sprocket kind of feel to it, right? Where it just really kind of like fits into that kind of like that melancholy blend of that rock music there. So I do think that the production quality was real good. I think Florin has a very nice voice. Definitely kind of picked up on a bit of an Eddie Vedder kind of vibe with his voice. Not that he sounded like Pearl Jam, right? But he definitely, I think, had something in his voice that was young and masculine at the same time. So yeah, I got to think that all around this is a pretty good, show closer. I really do. I really do think so, just because it is very poppy. It's very memorable. It's very kind of like teeny boppy, in the sense of like if we were back in the '90s, I could see like every single girl just like kind of like going crazy over the song, right? So I'm not like quote unquote hip with today's youth. I don't know what's going on with music these days, but I do think that for the time period that I'm remembering, that this song would have definitely been a hit, and undoubtedly so with Bruno Mars, as mentioned, as the inspiration. Then I think that the song works with that specific. So
I think also, if you imagine someone like take that, or specifically Robbie Williams, perhaps Gary Barlow singing this as one of a big ballad, they would have had a hit with it. Think of Angels or something like that, then it's in that sort of territory. So, but also if you think, Florin must have sort of imagined to himself, imagine doing a live version of this in front of a big crowd, because you've got to sort of have aspirations for these things. And there are some songs that you think, oh, that's a bit anthemic. That could be. Can you imagine the crowd with their phones or lighters with this one? And also the way the song sort of ebbs away and fades as it's introduced and then becomes big and then ebbs away. The ebb and flow factor is very good here, but the way it ebbs away, it almost feels like there's another chorus waiting in the wings. And this is the sort of song where you could have that extra chorus if you were doing it live, and then the band would play out the repeat of the chorus to refrain while he's saying his thank yous, good night, thank you, all this kind of thing. So he must have imagined that, because he surely can hear that this is a very anthemic song that would be a great live song.
Well, that would be the thing, is that this would definitely be an encore song, right? So good night, thank you, right? Like, let's get the band back up here. So this definitely could be an encore kind of song. So yeah, it really does have its merits. So it's a decently produced song, and I definitely think that it would be one of those songs that would be a crowd favorite. Yeah. Yep. So enjoyed it. I mean, we've had a great show all around, folks. So please, by all means, once again, do check out the video description below. Do find Carlos Fandango, Smart Monkey, and myself. Do find all these indie and underground musicians here. And if you liked any of the songs, make them your own on your own Spotify playlist. Do visit the undergroundsound.com website. And so what are we going to do for the show close? We're going to tell some jokes.
I was going to say, with a big question, really. is where the show's been nice so far. Now's the difficult, challenging bit. What's your top 3? I can tell you mine. Oh, I'm not sure about the order of this yet, but I'll tell you why I like them. I'm going to put number 3, although I probably would play it a lot more than just. It's the ones I play the most always that I think I need to put in my top 3. And I do think Mahir Gül, Bana Benzeyeceksin. I could easily put this as number 1 or 2. I'm going to put it at number 3. I'm going to put Florin Ciobanu for Our Broken Hearts, number 2, possibly number 1 as well. And BPeasy Light It Up. I love that one. I think it's just so happy. And I would easily put that on a playlist. I wouldn't skip it. And I'd be singing along to it because there's so much detail in it. So those are my top 3. I'm really not sure about the order, but Florin could be number 1 there, and BPeasy could be number 1.
Rob, what do you think?
Yes, it has been a very difficult one this time.
But what are you going to choose?
Oh, I'm going to choose. I have 4, which is not what
4
I
in your
should
top
have.
3.
I should have 3.
You must have 3.
I had them. I'm going to be terrible here because I'm going to try and pronounce the names. So probably I should just pick the easy ones to pronounce. Damn.
Yes.
Damn. Anyway, I had Mahir Gül with the
Bana Benzeyeceksin.
banana skin.
Banana skin.
Bananarama.
Banana skin. I just thought that was a really good track. So just such a good quality track with good quality musicians. So I'm just gonna actually just clarify this a minute for myself, because that should really be number 3 for me. So I'm just gonna juggle here a bit. But I did have Zeph Henderson in there as well. I did like that one, but this one has pipped it, if I was honest. Then we had João Araújo, Where You Are.
Yeah.
I did like that one.
The Purple Bowl, first Purple Bowl.
I
Yeah, that was good.
Purple Bowl did me well there. I did pick the electronic, and that one came in, and I was quite impressed with that, to be honest.
Oh, definitely didn't it?
Top one for me was Bobby Hewitt with A Kid Again, which was our first opening track, and I just really, really enjoyed it. So yeah,
it was a good song. That was a good song. Actually, that could have easily been in top 3. Yeah, good point. Really good song, because it had such a melting pot fusion of all those good things and wholesome sort of 90s things that, the bits of the 90s that I really did like, so and it was all in there. Yeah, good track actually, Bobby. Yeah.
There's a lot to like about the 90s, just by the way. So in no particular order.
At number 3.
Shush you, I may have 4 or 5 that I like.
At number 10.
And number 5 in our top 3.
just run down the list backwards. No. Yeah, I do like Zeph Henderson, Repetition of the Stars.
That was good.
I did very much enjoy River Gold with Jamaican Love.
True, good song.
Yeah. I very much so enjoyed Bobby Hewitt with The Kid Again. But then again, I also very much enjoyed BPeasy with Light It Up and Florin with For Our Broken Hearts. So yeah. It's a tough choice.
All right, there's a gun to your head. They're going to make you choose.
You look like you're about to cry.
All right, so I'll do my 1, 2, 3. How about that? So my number 1 for today's show will be River Gold with Jamaican Love. My number 2 will be Bobby Hewitt with The Kid Again, and then my number 3 is going to be Zeph Henderson with Repetition of the Stars.
Wow.
I think, yeah.
Oh, that's right, because the other week you did a top 3, then an alternative top 3.
Kind of, yeah, in an alternate universe, right? So, yeah, it's just you know,
that's a really good way of getting around it, isn't it? Because you could say, because if you have, say, a split personality thing, you can say Tom thinks is this, but other Tom thinks these 3. So you get 6.
Who are you calling a psycho?
You get 6 to choose.
No,
That's interesting. Yeah, it's good
yeah,
strategy.
it's just,
I could do the same, can't I? Right. So Al is going to choose
right.
Bobby Hewitt. Al also likes. Sorry, Al. For some reason, your head stopped moving. Al, hold on a minute. Light it up. Yeah, Al light it up. And actually,
oh my God, he's like, why is he doing like a reverse cowgirl?
and Zeph Henderson, I think Al likes as well. Yeah, there we are. Interesting taste you got there, Al.
You know, the problem is, and it's not so much of a problem, right? But the problem is that we listen to such great music that picking top 3 it seems to be getting increasingly difficult week to week to week. And so, you know, getting the top 3, if we've listened to 10 banger fucking songs, like how the hell do you really pick a top 3? You know, if we sit there and we're kind of like, you know, all just every single song, like, wow, that was fantastic, and you know, we're just like in an orgasmic fucking phase of our existence, right? How the hell do you pick a top 3 at that point? Like, it's impossible. Like, so even doing the best of the 22s or best of the 23s so far, I have a couple on the list already, and then I'm just kind of like, as the show goes on, I'm like, well, maybe we could scratch this one off and put this one in. But then it's just like, oh, but I really like that one. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a very difficult year for our best of the 23s. If you have not, folks, seen the best of our 22s, then please do click on that. Visit our channel, I should say. Find the best of the 22s, because we do need your help voting for them. Voting is not necessarily closed. We tried to do an episode with the results with this guy right over here. This is the Oscar.
Yep, the underground sound, the Oscar.
Not to be confused with the Oscar, which I'm pretty sure is patented and trademarked and everything like that. This is the Oscar.
Yep, 6 inches of solid pleasure. Look at that. Oh, show that again, Tom. But speak as well.
Just about 6 inches, yes.
Yeah, with a star there, holding a star. Sorry, you talk again.
Holding the star. But we did try our first initial show, and I thought that we would breeze through it very quickly, but we ended up recording about 4 hours, and I have a different idea, and it will be posted shortly. Once again, just the move is coming up and everything like that. So just after the move, probably just before the radio station comes to be and everything like that. So, yeah, with that said, I got to say that we thank you for joining us for the Underground Sound episode 31. I am DJ X Tech. With me, as always, is a smart monkey and the gentleman known as Carlos Fandango. Together, we are putting us back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear, because you did it in a different order.
Yeah, you did that. And if you hit the dingly dangly things at the bottom and pull the bells and the whistles, and the videos will pop up and play, and it's fantastic. It's just
that's
magic.
How we're gonna play. Is it right? I'll do it like so please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear.
You love to hear.
That's very good, actually.
Yes.
Quite like that one.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I just got to
need
some hair.
It was a nice smooth transition. It's good to know that we are on our P's and Q's here. And once again, folks, today is March 31st, 2023. Please do visit the video description below for all your underground sound needs, the websites, the artists, the musicians, and the notifications. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, hit that share button. Yes, share us all over the place. Not just us. Share the music all over the place. give music as a gift to somebody. Maybe there was a song here that you really, really, really liked. Go and visit that artist, spread some love, give them some fire, and just make the song your own. And we do for this day. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye from the bowl and the owl. Bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye.
Hattie pie.
Bye.